Hi, welcome to 2020 Tasty Treats with GourmetQuilter. I'm Susan Clare, GourmetQuilter, and we're doing some applique, a whole series of 20 different appliques, all to do with the sewing room this time. So there's a picture here, there's one up on the wall, there's also some of them that we've already started. We're up to applique number 9, so there's 8 up here that we've already done of things that you might find in a sewing room. So there is a pattern available on GourmetQuilter.com. It's a downloadable pattern. Each day we're doing a different block each day for 20 days, and we're up to day 9. So the pattern is downloadable, and also there's the video to show you what I'm doing. So we can just go ahead. This time we've just got a simple small applique, a little skinny one. So what I want to do, we're just doing a needle and thread for the applique, and so I just want a little center line so that I know where to put that needle on my background fabric. So I've got my needles already traced here and cut out and thread. So I'm just going to position that now. So I've got that little just lightly finger pressed line so that I can put the needle up the center of the block, more or less, and fairly straight, we hope. Now in the pattern there's a little tiny gap so that you can get into the eye of the needle for cutting it out. And that gets covered over when we pop the fabric in as well, the thread. So we want this piece of thread to look like it's going through the needle. So we need to do a little bit of over and under. So just a little bit fiddly, but we can do this. And that thread is pretty much going from one side of the block to the other. So we want it to probably cover over that little join that we had in the eye of the needle there. So that's probably the only thing that you've got to watch out for, because otherwise it's pretty straightforward. And the ends will go off into the seam allowance there. So it's just a needle and thread like that. So I'm going to iron that in place. And I'm going to applique stitch it with free motion stitching. So I'm going to put a stabilizer behind. So long and slender, this needle. But I think when everything's fused on like that, it's really not so bad to do because it all stays in place. So I've got my free motion little open toe foot on. I've dropped my feed teeth, and I am going to have a little think about which bit I'm going to do first. I think I'm going to come around the center first of the eye, and then do this little piece of thread that's all sort of inside the eye of the needle, and get that bit done, and then we can do the outside of the needle bit. So we do need to stitch around all the edges, so I'm just doing a free motion straight stitch on the applique just near the edge. Just going to snip that thread out of the way. So we'll come up all the way around here. So that's the eye done, but we've got to do the piece of thread now. So we can come up and just do that little piece and come out to the edge. And then come back up the other side of that piece of, whoops, my foot caught underneath. It's better. And we're looking pretty good. So I'm going to stop and start there, and then I can come around and do all the outside parts. So again, I'm going to start over here because we can't go over the thread because it would look better if it's not. So if we start here, we like things to look as real as possible, even though it's obviously only just a little drawing. And we can do this piece of thread while we're here as well. End of my sewing thread and come back in here, and then just come back onto the eye of the needle there on the outside edge, and then I can go all the way around the needle. done. End that off, give it a quick press, and we've got a needle and thread. So that's always a good thing to have in a sewing room. We can sew. We've got some embroidery going on, we've got some pins, we've got tape measures, we have got a well-equipped sewing room happening here, I think. So that was our applique number 9 of the series. So I will see you again with sewing room applique number 10.